All right, everyone. Welcome to today's charting session. Sa mga hindi pa po nakakaalam, what we do here is we typically look at either yung mga trending names, and by that, I mean yung mga pangalan na maaaring malaki yung ginalaw, whether to the upside or to the downside, or perhaps malaki yung value traded, or generally speaking, mas minamatahan lang po ng mga tao. Also, tumatanggap din po tayo ng mga chart requests. So kung meron po kayong mga requests, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. So let's start off with PGOLD, no? Before we drill in, again, I just want to remind everyone of the bigger picture that essentially what happened was natrap tayo sa malaking range na to. Okay? We can say na nag-up, nag-higher low, whatever, higher high within it, but at the end of the day, pumalik lang tayo sa range na to. And if you look at it from higher time frames, makikita nyo that we are still trapped within this very, very, very wide range. Okay? So just keep that in mind as we drill down para lang hindi tayo magsiset ng unfair expectations dito sa PGOLD, no? Now, let me zoom in a bit. Tuloy-tuloy yung pag-breakdown natin hanggang mga Monday or Tuesday this week where we almost came back and tagged etong previous support natin at 31.2. This was established noong May 14, no, noong 2021. We bounced before it and price came back, retook etong previous support dito that we broke down from with this candle, yung 32.8, and now we're currently trading above it. Now, first and foremost, what does this entail? It could mean na may i-stuck tayo sa wider trading range na to with the knowledge na pwede natin siyang i-segment in this way, meaning lower range will be from 31.2 to 32.8, and then upper range would be from 32.8 papuntang 34.75 to 35.3. Kasi ito, pwede natin siya tignan as an area of resistance kasi siya yung previous support, di ba? Nag-support tayo dito, lumagpas konti dito, so we encapsulate everything in one area. Alright? So, pwedeng nag-range tayo dito. That's one thing to look at. But for me personally, what I'm watching out for is etong maliit na level na to, yung 34.05 na yellow line. If price can start trading above this, essentially, parang swing high na yan di ba? So, if we can push up above it, possible kaya na mag-form tayo ng parang inverted head and shoulders pattern somewhere here na pwede nating sandalan moving forward. Lalo na kung kunwari yung inverted head and shoulders natin parang nagsasettle siya right beneath this area of previous support, no? So parang nagko-consolidate tayo right beneath an area of support. So kung mangyari man yon, this could be something interesting to watch out for dito sa PGOLD. That being said, right now, wala pa po. Hilaw pa. Okay? Now, ang ayaw naman nating makita dito sa Puregold is if price doesn't hold here, we collapse, maybe come back to support, and if we break tong 31.2, then yung next level of support natin is itong ginawa natin nung pandemic, no? So baka mabalikan natin yan all the way. Not in one day, of course, not even in 1 week, pero baka mabalikan natin yan kung mabasag altogether tong 31.2. Okay, so yun lang po yung mga tinitingnan ko dito sa Puregold. Next, silipin po natin tong ATN, no? Now, itong ATN, kung papansinin natin, essentially, nag-form siya ng parang very odd shape na head and shoulders pattern, di ba? Ito yung left shoulder. We pushed higher, came back down, made a lower high, which was yung right shoulder natin, then broke beneath tong neckline, di ba? Now, after we broke beneath, as always, paint by numbers lang, no? Price came back, almost tag yung neckline, nag-resist, and now we're holding within this range here. Now, etong range na to, mahirap pa natin tansyahin kasi ang konti pa lang ng candles, but I can say na it's likely within etong 465 to 60 na area. Okay? If we come back and retake itong 60, I still wouldn't be outright bullish because price could come back and mauntog lang tayo dito sa level of supply na to, no? Pero kung sabihin natin, price comes back up, retakes itong high ng right shoulder, then I'd be more bullish dito sa ATN and I'll be looking for it to come back and tag yung 0.94 na iniwan niya from before. Okay? Anything in between, baka mag-chop lang kasi tayo eh, 'di ba? Parang I realize na it's very tempting to trade anything that looks like it's moving higher, but wala kasing edge dun eh. 'Di ba? Sometimes directionality doesn't equal profit eh. 'Di ba? So, ayaw natin kasi na matrap lang tayo sa chop only to find na at the end of it all, we are gonna experience drawdown pa. 'Di ba? So, konting ingat lang. Now, let's say naman na tama nga na nag-range siya dito tapos mabasag natin yung 465, then obviously bearish scenario tayo. Baka balikan natin tong mga lows na iniwan ng ATN from before. Okay? So, konting ingat-ingat lang po dito sa ATN. If by some miracle na trade nyo po to tapos hindi na hit yung trail stop nyo, then just make sure na i-maintain nyo lang po yung discipline nyo na kapag tumama na do sa trail stop nyo, ay makuha po natin na lumabas. Okay? But if na-hit na, tas kumita na kayo dito, syempre, congratulations po sa inyong lahat. No? I hope na na-trade nyo po ito ng maayos and kumita naman po kayo lahat from its up move. Personally, hindi ko ito na-trade. I'm not a big fan of ATN, and as I said, pag may ganitong mga dashes sa chart, I'm not a big fan of trading it unless gustong-gusto ko yung pattern. But for everyone else, if you did end up trading this, I hope it worked out for the best para sa inyong lahat. Next, pag-usapan po natin tong GMA7, no? Now, kung titingnan po natin tong GMA, nagkaroon tayo ng pullback, 'di ba, earlier this week that almost came back to tag tong level of demand na naiwan natin dito, no? Kaso kumapos ng konti. Nakaabang sana ako dyan pero kumapos ng konti, no? So, from here, we pushed higher. It's looking like we might come back to tag tong iniwan niya na resistance at 15.86. And if we can break above tong 15.86, then we might come back and tag etong resistance sa high at 16.66, no? So parang na-segment na siya, medyo gumulo ng konti kasi nagkaroon tayong choppiness dito sa area na to as the market tried to figure out what it wanted to do, 'di ba? Dahil nagkakaroon nga tayo ng kaguluhan, ng confusion because of the whole Russia-Ukraine thing. Okay? Now, kung mabasag tong 16.66, obviously, new high na naman tayo, bagong price exploration na naman, and maghihintay na naman po tayo ng structure na mag-develop, albeit this time in a positive light. Kasi syempre, to the upside yung basag natin eh. Now, kung may hawak po kayo ng GMA7 and hindi po kayo na-shake, congratulations, no? Talagang minsan mahirap pag ganitong sobrang choppy yung price action. Talagang medyo susubukan yung yung resolve eh, di ba? But assuming may hawak po tayo, hindi po tayo na shake out or anything, the number one, congratulations. I hope in profit na po kayo. But just be sure na regardless of whether or not in profit na kayo or hindi, to watch out for and be disciplined with your stop losses. Okay? So again, if we can break 15.86, then likely we come back and tag yung high at 16.66. And ang tanong na lang is babasagin ba natin yan or hindi? Kasi we can always come back, meet resistance there, and roll over. Diba? So, I know that a lot of people always want to be optimistic na hindi, kapag nag-breakout yan, tuloy-tuloy na. But, kailangan mas realistic tayo than optimistic. Diba? Optimistic is good. Realistic is better. Lalo na sa trading. We react kung ano yung pinapakita sa atin ng market rather than force on the market what we want to be seeing. Now, let's say naman na hindi siya nabasag dito sa 15.86. Instead, we break back down, break beneath tong 14.88 which naging parang middle of the range na natin, no? Pag nabasag yan, then highly likely we come back and tag tong white area kasi di natin to nabalikan eh. So, it's always possible na balikan natin yung white area. Then we can see how price reacts from here. If mag-bounce na naman tayo, then we can say na okay, ito na talaga yung range natin moving forward. Perhaps we can trade it, perhaps we can't. It remains to be seen. Pero kung nabasag tong 13.82 altogether, okay, then baka balikan natin yung support dito at 13.28. And if that doesn't hold, dito sa 12.62. After all, ito po yung range na tinitingnan natin in the bigger picture. Diba? It's a wide range from 12.62 hanggang 16.66. Yan yung leg eh. Nagkaroon tayo ng leg dito, then everything else that happened here happened within this leg. Okay? So yun lang po yung tinitingnan natin dito sa GMA. Again, konting ingat lang po. Know what you want to see para when you do see it, ready kayo. And when you don't see it, hindi kayo kakatihin. Next, tignan naman po natin yung AT. Now, I also received a lot of requests from AT, no? And as you can see, prior to etong fall na to, ito na naman, di ba? Yung mabilis na move up, very often, nakakain din siya ng mabilis. And in this particular instance, the entire move up was eaten up. Therefore, kung ganito yung itsura, I would outright say na hindi na siya mukhang bullish. Kasi your entire move was eaten up eh. Kung it was eaten up part way, ganon, tas nag-bounce tayo, then baka iba yung usapan eh. But the entire up move, kinain pabalik. In fact, binalikan natin yung support natin dito around 6.39 na area. Diba? So, ano yung pwede natin tignan ngayon dito sa AT? First, we are back within this range here between 6.39 papuntang 6.88. And if we can reclaim itong 6.88, then perhaps that opens up this previous range here, 'di ba? Nakinain ng iisang candle lang na to para it played both ways. Ito yung resistance, ito yung support, 'di ba? Na from between 6.88 hanggang 7.48. Okay? Right now, I wouldn't expect na may parang bullish continuation muna. Diba? Yes, kung magkaroon tayo ng fundamental driver once again that pushes it up higher, syempre iba yung usapan. But from a purely technical standpoint, it's not looking good when your entire up move is eaten up parang almost or faster pa nga yata eh than it moved higher. Diba? So obviously that's not very bullish. Now, kung mabasag natin tong 6.39, okay, any hopes? Right now, may glimmer of hope pa, I guess. Very, very small glimmer. Pero kung mabasag yan, then we come back to this range beneath between 5.95 to 6.39. And if we break 5.95, 5.76 yung next level of support natin dito sa AT. Now, kung bullish kayo ng AT, then for me, I would suggest na either wait na talagang mag-conso tayo dito ng mabuti. And if so, see if we can break to the upside para magkaroon ulit ng bullish continuation of some sort. I am not saying it's the most bullish looking of moves. It's not. But at the very least, diba, it could come back and trade within these areas above. Okay? And you can use that as potential segments or areas to trade from kung sakali man na talagang gusto nyo ang i-trade tong AT. Finally, tignan po natin tong SGP. So, patuloy pa rin po yung pagbaba ng SGP. If I'm not mistaken, we're already below yung FOO price niya, no? So, ano nga ba yung dapat natin tignan na dito sa SGP moving forward? Number 1, okay, nag-form tayo ng support dito at 11 pesos. 'Di ba? Where price bounced back from. Tapos tumama tayo dito sa resistance where there was support before. Again, sometimes talagang very, yung parang paint by numbers, very textbook, sumusunod lang talaga sa script. From there, nag-form tayo ng range between 11.6 and 12 pesos. Okay? So ano pwede natin tignan dito? Number 1, if we can break above itong 12 pesos, then it opens up this range above hanggang mga 12.52 to 12.6 na area. And if we can break above that, then yung next na pwede nating abutin is around 13 pesos, no? 'Di ba? Itong range na to. 'Di ba? And then finally, yung next level of resistance from there is at 13.34. However, kung from here we break beneath tong 11.6, test from underneath, mag-hold, roll over, 'di ba? Gumulong, then pagkaganyan, it's almost assuredly a certainty na mababalikan natin tong support at 11 pesos. And if that breaks, obviously, new low na naman tayo, and we're gonna have to be patient and wait for further price structure to develop before we can assess what we can do from there. Right now, at least may clear-cut options tayo. Break above 12, then that opens up these ranges above. Break beneath 11.6, then highly likely we come back and tag tong 11 pesos. Okay? Now, I realize a lot of the people who did buy or are playing SGP is purely because of yung dividends na they offered and or yung potential for future capital appreciation dahil nga pwede nilang makuha yung ganitong contract or yung ganitong company or whatever. Okay? We're not gonna get into that in this video. But from a purely technical standpoint, konting ingat lang po tayo. Rather than thinking na, okay, magadagdag na ba ako dito, hintayin po muna natin na mag-develop yung structure towards our favor before we decide on whether or not it's something that we should add on to as a position. 'Diba? Kung nag-iisip naman po kayo na, gusto kong bumili ng SGP, hindi ko alam saan pa ako papasok. Then same thing, no? Exercise lang po tayo ng konting patience. 'Diba? Let's wait until my early signs of reversal kasi right now medyo bitin pa at least dito sa hourly time frame ha. Medyo bitin pa Let's wait for more signals before jumping in, even if that entails na mabili natin ng mas mahal konti. But at least ako, personally, I'm willing to pay up for a little bit more confirmation rather than forcing the trade right now na nandun yung mataas na probability that we can still see further downside. Kasi at the end of the day, ganun pa rin Ito yung low, lower low, pwedeng ito yung lower high, then mag-seek lang tayo ng lower low Diba? So, konting patience lang po and hopefully your patience will be rewarded. So guys, dito po nagtatapos yung video natin, no? I hope nakatulong po to sa inyo kahit konti and may natutunan kayo kahit papano. And if so, I would really appreciate it if you give this video a like and consider subscribing to my channel. And as always guys, maraming salamat po sa panonood. I really appreciate it. Good luck and happy trading!